Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Clairpoint Podcast with me, Randy Prizzle. How you guys all doing out there? Everything good, shway, crispy, irie? Let's get on to this episode of the Clairpoint Podcast. But before that, I had a completely mad day yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Drinks were flowing, went to the park, played some football, and there was a lot of rum punch. That's all I'm going to say. Big up to Oma W for the rum punch, but it got my head spinning. Right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round. I didn't even think I was going to be able to do this podcast today. I generally kind of didn't want to, but I said, you know what? I've got to do it. I've got to stay consistent, and I've just got to keep it going. Even though inside of me right now, I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not feeling great. Literally, earlier in the day, I had to, let's say, get everything out in my system. You know what I mean? Not through the mouth, but the other one. Do you know what I mean? The other hole. So it was not great. It was not pleasant at all. I have managed to eat some solid foods though, but yeah, that's a reminder to me that my body's getting older. I can't keep trying to party and do all of that like the Eddie Murphy song. Like always to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. I can't be doing that. So yeah. But anyways, episode for this week of the podcast. We're gonna go into random questions. My advice as usual. Come into the Premier League recap and a roundup. May even touch on obviously the Europa League that happened as well. Man United obviously coming back from that, let's say, the brink of being eliminated to end up going through. Crazy game that was. We're also then going to talk about Wrestlemania 41 that happened as well, and also the Raw after Mania, because that was that was chaos as well, and that was incredible. So there will be spoilers on this episode. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Mania, I will go into spoilers of them and get the whole reaction from my perspective on all of that. But anyways, guys, let me officially welcome you again to the Clairpoint Podcast. I don't know how this is going to go, but excuse me, I'm not going to be, full happy-go-lucky Randy or whatever. I'm just going to try and get by. Hopefully I get by with you guys. Get by with a little help from my friends. So yeah, but anyways, let's get on to some random questions before we jump into anything else. The first one we got: are you scared about flying on a plane? Yes, I am very much so scared of flying. The last trip I went to, I flew was Paris, and it wasn't pleasant. My stomach was doing knots. I don't think it's general the fear of flying. It's more of like getting there and the turbulence and everything starts to do a madness and my stomach starts to go. Because as I said, I'm not so good with heights. I don't like heights. So getting in an airplane, and when you kind of, let's say, are in the mode when you're in the sky and you see the clouds, you think, okay, fine, fair enough, I'm close to heaven or whatever. Which is mad. Show me heaven, comfort me, leave me breathless. Whoa. All of that. Do you know what I mean? Show me heaven, the clouds and that. So, but I am generally someone who doesn't like flying frequently. You know what I mean? The whole turbulence, if it gets mad, if storms are happening, count me out of that. But anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. Next one. If life is a video game, what cheat code would you want to use the most? I think being able to get paid to play football, because football's like one of my loves, you know what I mean? But also doing this as well, getting paid to do football, getting paid to do this. I think if you can just, collect money from like just doing what you're doing now, obviously people are collecting money in the real terms, but obviously me, I'm just, just an ordinary guy, do you know what I mean? I'm no one special, to be honest. Unless you guys think I'm someone different. A bit loopy in the brain I can be, singing random songs at times, but that's just me, do you know what I mean? I generally think I'm just ordinary. I like the ordinary things, watching video games and all of that, playing video games, sort of watching movies, and playing games and, you know, football and that. So that's just generally my simplistic things I like to do. Cooking as well at times. Why am I advertising myself? I don't need to be advertising myself, but I'm advertising myself. Let me stop. But yeah, that's the thing I would do. I think paid to play football. Do you know what I mean? Just go out there, enjoy myself, but at the same time, get paid for it. Because I play football regularly, but I don't get no rewards, you could say, from it in terms of money or whatever. But I get the rewards of having fun and being there and playing with a lot of people that from different backgrounds, different communities. So that in itself is great. And obviously the group I play with, we obviously hand out trophies for the people who do really well, you know what I mean? And we reward them for just coming up, showing up, being consistent, just enjoying themselves and just having some fun, but at the same time wanting to compete and put themselves out there. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's good, but you would want a little bit, you know what I mean? Just to feel like you're a proper professional in those sense. But anyways, let me stop waffling on. Next one. Have you created a rumor about yourself just to be the talk of the town? I did. I think back in my school days, I did make up that my voice broke because of the rock. I was just doing the if you smell. It was a lie. I was trying to do that just to impress people. I think I was just someone who wanted to get over, you could say, with the crowd, because I wasn't over, you know. I was doing silly things, but they never really noticed, man. So I had to kind of put myself out there and say something that was a bit mad and a bit wild. It was never the case that it was the rock that got my voice to break. So, you know, trying to do if you're smart, it wasn't, you know. It just broke naturally. Unfortunately, I woke up one day and my voice just changed. You know what I mean? My whole life has changed. And it did completely change, but it is what it is. So it's the case of where adulthood starts, you know, when your voice breaks, because, you know, you're now starting to be on the verge of being a man, you know what I mean? And the balls start getting hair and that, and you get facial hair more. And yeah, man, I wasn't ready for it. Do you know what I mean? But it happened. So, you know what I mean? Just like I wasn't ready for, you know, man, them bringing stuff into school that was X-rated, bro. I wasn't ready for either, but you know what I mean? You learn, don't you? You see things, you grow, you learn. So that's kind of the case of now and the nowadays scenario. So yeah. All right, next one. What music would you like to be played at your funeral? That's a bit morbid, but if I had to think of something, I'm trying to think of something that summarizes anything. Just got to get through this. I think Daniel Bedingfield, because everybody just got to get through the funeral and just move on. You know what I mean? Do you know, I just gotta get through this deal. I gotta get through this. I gotta make it through. Do you know what I mean? All the turbulence and all the madness. Do you know what I mean? Just enjoy it and celebrate. I think just see it for what it is. It's a sad time, but that music kind of keeps you pumping. Do you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? When you know the pouring with the rain, 'cause my rain is going again. Let's stay on you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, gotta get through this, man. I think so. Just off the top of my brain, that's what I can go with. So yeah, we'll come to a final one. Where did all the money go if the whole world were in debt? To the rich, I believe. To the rich, to the internet, potentially. You know what I mean? Because I think the people in power are the ones, obviously, that's gonna keep all that money to themselves. They probably have it in a storage bank somewhere, offshore accounts, where it's all hush hush and we don't know where it is. So they have some contingency plans probably in place in case there's another Wall Street crash or something. Do you know what I mean? So the rich will be fine. You know what I mean? The people who've kept their monies in different places abroad somewhere so they can just go and have access to it. Well, we'll just probably be in that times of like Elysium and that. If you've watched that film, you know what I mean? Where people just trying to get by and just do what they need to do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's what I think would probably happen. You know what I mean? Where the money would go, just into the richest secret bank accounts. Do you know what I mean? People just, hackers probably end up being richer, wouldn't they? Because they'll find a way just to snatch off other people's accounts and just take, and you know what I mean, run off with them. So I think the hackers probably be the ones who benefit more. You know what I mean? The people obviously working in the high ups, so they will be all right. You know what I mean? They will be all right. But that's it, guys. That's it for my thoughts on the random questions. What do you guys think? You can put your constable on that one or keep it to yourself. Cool. Well, we're going to move forward now to talk my advice. So, for obviously people don't know, the people confess their secrets, give their confessions, and I obviously give my advice to some weird and absolutely insane confessions. So let's get onto it, because these are their confessions. Just when they say they'll say they on the side, they got one on the way. These are their confessions. So all of that. All right, next one. The first one we've got. So this is a wild one, but let's go into this one. My 18-year-old daughter caught my wife and I having sex. Bruh, it's not looking good at all. What the whole thing is saying. So to preface, this is why we're not having loving mommy and dad vanilla sex. My wife is not that kind of woman. I would never describe her like this to anyone without being anonymous, but my wife is a certified freak. Oh, she the freak of the week, all of that. She says, on the outside, she looks like a normal 40-year-old wife and mother, but that woman is a kinky, deprived sex maniac. She's a maniac. Oh, whoa. You know what I mean? So she loves being tied up, blindfolded, choked, degraded, walked on a leash, etc. She's hypersexual and hypersensitive. I've seen her have 9 orgasms back to back. Yo, that's crazy, man. Splash waterfall sex. Make love to me. Boom, boom. Oh. Yeah. Says the kinks in the bedroom are all her idea, which isn't to say that I don't enjoy our sex life, but she's truly insatiable and it can be a lot sometimes. Bruh. Throughout the years, with 2 children, it's been harder for us to arrange time to indulge. But now that our son is in college and our daughter is going to be graduating this year and also going to college, we're very excited to have more time to ourselves. I'm sure he is. Do you know what I mean? He can't get ready. Do you know what I mean? Having the chains and whips and all of that ready, S&N stuff. You know what I mean? Rihanna says, all of that. So yeah. All right, let's continue what they were saying from there. So my daughter was going for a sleepover party at her best friend's house. We told her have fun and be safe. Then the second she was out the house, my wife said, meet me in the basement in 20 minutes. I know what I had to do. I went down there and dusted off the large wooden chest that I kept buried away and locked. I set up the bondage table, got her favourite nipple clamps, the lube she likes, her blindfold, made sure that her vibrator was charged, her butt plug was ready to go, and got the rope ready. I spared the DLs, but my daughter came home early and unannounced. She heard screaming in the basement. My wife is loud when she climaxes, and walked in on her mother bound and restrained with a blindfold and nipple clamps on, gumming her brains up while I used the vibrator now while I was completely naked except for a latex bondage mask. Obviously she screamed and ran. It took a lot to calm her down. I untied my wife, we got dressed and talked about what she saw. She kept apologizing and we told her she didn't do anything wrong and there's nothing to apologize for, but we're so sorry that she saw that. This was just last night, so things are just really awkward. It's legitimately was the most embarrassing moment of my life. I really hope we didn't permanently scar our daughter. I think you permanently have scarred your daughter, because your daughter has seen you guys not just having just the vanilla stuff, do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like the mini vanilla stuff. You guys were going above and beyond that, do you know what I mean? It's not the mini vanilla, you know what I mean? Girl, you know it's true. I love you. You guys were going above and beyond. You were doing, as I said, the Rihanna stuff, S&M. it was just going wild, wet and wild. Do you know what I mean? Like the water slide. You guys were just going fully in. You're going in, like all in pay-per-view. You were doing everything under the sun. You know what I mean? Icarus settings, flying close to it. You know what I mean? But you guys, obviously, you're adults. You have to have fun. But your daughter is scarred now. She's never going to look at you the same. Things will never be the same again. Like the Mel C song. They will never be the same again. Things will never be the same again. It's just the beginning and it's the end. Things will never be the same again. Yeah, she's scarred for life. But, you know, she could probably use this as something where she says, oh, maybe mum has done this. Maybe it's okay for me to do this. Do you know what I mean? Potential down the life to potential partners she has. It could go one way or the other. She could absolutely not want to talk to you guys again, or absolutely be intrigued and want to discuss more down the line with you guys, or potentially not discuss it with you and just decide to do it herself. Do you know what I mean? So it can go either way. But yeah, I pretty much say you've kind of taken your daughter's innocence, to be honest. That's obviously if she isn't out there and about and just doing her own things, you know what I mean? Linking other boys and that, you know what I mean? Who knows what she's doing college days and that. It can get mad, do you know what I mean? So all I have to say is that just keep apologizing, because your daughter has seen the worst, you know what I mean? And probably this is the worst she's going to see from her parents. I could say 100% the worst. I don't think there'll be anything worse on. Maybe if they were in a secret clan or something, I don't know. Probably would be worse, or, you know. But that's probably going to top the list for normal parents who probably have presented themselves as like the perfect Jane and John. Now it's not so perfect. Do you know what I mean? For her, because she's seen everything. She's seen, you know what I mean, you two fornicating, but not in California. Do you know what I mean? You two are doing things in a different stratosphere and in different settings to where it's not normal for her. And this isn't normal. But it's okay to have fun. It's okay to explore. It's okay to do these mad things. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a mad world out here. All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces, worn out faces. It's okay. It's a mad world. As the song said, Gary Jules, it's a mad world. But I would be apologizing to your daughter. I'll be buying her anything she wants at this point in time. Buy her a brand new car if obviously you have the money to buy her whatever she needs, just so you can try and get all of that somewhat simmered down in her brain, because it's not going to go. All you can do is just give her that much love and attention that she needs. Forget your other one, because at that point in time, it doesn't matter with him. At the end, it doesn't really matter. This one's the scarred one. You have to be really careful with this one, because she can go left. So my advice, treat her, take care of her, call her, be there for her. Just keep showing her with a lot of love. That's all I've got to say. You know what I mean? And that's my advice for that one. And that's all for this episode of The Advice. But what do you guys think of that one? That was a bit of a mad one still. But you can put your comments below on that one, or keep it to yourself. Cool. Well, we're going to move forward now to talk the Premier League. So let's get on to that. The Premier League. Yes. Alright, so the games that did happen yesterday night, you know what I mean, which obviously some crazy games that unfolded, you know. Stupid phone decided to act mad now. Always does this, always decides to do this when got everything together, just decides to just act up. How you gonna up and leave me now? How you gonna act like that? How you gonna change it up? We just finished doing this. How you gonna act like that? Right, phone's back. Let's get on to it now. Match day 33. Brentford 4, Brighton 2. West Ham 1, Southampton 1. Everton 0, Man City 2. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. Aston Villa 4, Newcastle 1. Ipswich Town 0, Arsenal 4. Man United 0, Wolves 1. Fulham 1, Chelsea 2. Leicester City 0, Liverpool 1. Tottenham 1, Nottingham Forest 2. So, obviously, good result for Brentford. Brentford 4-2 winners against Brighton. West Ham drawing with Southampton. Man City winning against Everton, taking them obviously a step closer in that top 4 race. Villa 4-1 win against Newcastle. I don't think anyone saw that coming, so it's a good result for Villa. Gives them much intentions to keep on with that top 4 race. Arsenal 4-0 winners against Ipswich Town. Ipswich didn't really get off first gear. Arsenal really dominated, put them to the sword. Good result overall for Arsenal. 4-0 winners, obviously coming off the back of a Champions League epic night for Arsenal. You know, beating Real Madrid over 2 legs, insane. Man United losing at home to Wolves. They wouldn't really care though, obviously after their heroics in the Europa League game against Lyon. Lyon threw it away, to be honest. You know what I mean? Being obviously 2 goals up and then throwing it away close to the 2 minutes or left in the extra time. Man United obviously getting 2 late goals and then the winner, which was crazy to see. Insane that happened. Pretty much thought Lyon probably had it in the bag when they went 2 up ahead on goals, but turned out not to be the case. Man United, kind of, you would say, heritage for them. They came back and they ended up winning the game, which was crazy to see. Insane stuff. Fulham 1, Chelsea 2. I mean, Chelsea beating Fulham is a good win for them, to be honest. Away at Craven Cottage, so gives them much more chances to push higher up the table. You know, Neto scoring the goal, and I think George scoring the other one. So the young man, they scored the goals, and Fulham right now indifferent, to be honest. They have to really concern themselves with the next match that they play. Liverpool 1-0 winners against Leicester. Trent Alexander-Arnold scored the goal to get Liverpool to win, which is ironic, you know what I mean. His interview afterwards saying, oh yeah, and, you know, it's obvious that he's leaving, but I think at this point in time he's trying to appease the fans, but I don't think he still can, so it's a little too late, but it gives Liverpool the title charge they need, you know what I mean. The next win for them is basically them confirmed as champions. They hold the trophy in that, so I believe they would probably win that game. So, and then Tottenham losing to Nottingham Forest. It's the heritage of Tottenham, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But Nottingham Forest again taking that step towards trying to get into the race of the top 4. 2-1 winners away at, you know, Tottenham. Literally seems like an easy feat to do nowadays. Tottenham have got, what, 18 losses already? And Postecoglou is still in the job. How? But I'm not Tottenham's, you know, fans, so I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Long may it continue. Big up Ange, you're doing a great job. You know what I mean? You're doing great, Ange. You're doing great. Do you know what I mean? You're doing great. So yeah. We come now to predict match day 34, which is Man City versus Aston Villa. It's on today, 8 p.m. Time currently of doing this podcast is 5:32 p.m, so I can predict that game. I'm predicting that it's going to be a tight one, to be honest. A really tight game. Villa, I've known to win games and then slip up, so part of me thinks that this could end the draw, to be honest. I just don't know. I think draw is calling here, but I'm going to go for a high scoring draw. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a 1-1. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, which is on tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'm going to go for Arsenal winning this one. 2-0. Yeah, I see a 2-0 here for Arsenal. Chelsea versus Everton, which is on Saturday, 26th April, 12th. I'm going to go for Chelsea winning this one. It's Everton. Could be a bogey team though, can't they? Yeah, they can be. I'm going to go for a draw, actually. 1-1. Wolves versus Leicester City. I'm going to go for Wolves winning this one. 3-1 Wolves. Newcastle versus Ipswich Town. Newcastle. 3-1. 3-0. 3-0 Newcastle. Brighton versus West Ham United. I'm going to go for a... Ooh, this is a tough one as well. I'll probably go draw on this one, 1-1. Southampton versus Fulham. Fulham, 3-1 Fulham. Bournemouth versus Man United. Man United. Yeah, just say a 1-0 Man United. Liverpool versus Tottenham. Liverpool winning. Yeah. Get the parties out for them. I think, again, it's not going to be a routine win, but I think they would get something out. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. And them confirmed as champions against Tottenham. So, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Nottingham Forest. I'll go 2-0. No. 2-1 Nottingham Forest. Yeah, 2-1. And that's it for the predictions of the Premier League match. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Put your comments below on that one, or keep it to yourself. Cool. With that now, we're going to talk Wrestlemania 41. So, just get my overall thoughts on the matches. I obviously think that night 2 was better than night 1. I liked the main event of night 1. I'm just going to run through, obviously, what was in the card on night 1 and my rating I would give for the matches. So Jey Uso versus Gunther, I'm going to give that match a rating. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10. I think the match wasn't a great match overall. I'm happy for Jey Uso. That's what I'm going to say there. Spoilers, so let's put it there. I'm happy Jey Uso won the World Heavyweight Championship, but it just was a very lackluster sort of match. The build-up and the ending, not great at all. So it gets a 4.5 for me. That's what I've got to say on that. Yeah. I think this is 2 matches of Mania that Jey Uso hasn't had a great main event match. So it's not looking good for him in terms of WrestleMania. That's 2 bombs in 2 years of 2 back-to-back Manias. So, yeah. Listen, I like Jey Uso, but nah, that wasn't the match. New Day versus War Raiders. Again, the build-up to this wasn't great. So, and the factor is I predicted New Day would win, and they did. So, well done to them, but it was a very average match for me. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Jade Cargill, Naomi. Listen, I enjoyed the match of parts. I would have liked it to have been a bit longer, to told the story a lot more. I didn't like the fact that Naomi lost that. I would have wanted Naomi to win, because Naomi's the veteran in this, and I think Naomi needed that WrestleMania moment again. Jade Cargill could have a next one, to be honest, and I don't think this was it for Jade Cargill to have. I think she could have had the Backlash or whenever they meet next, but this one, nah, man. This should have been Naomi's, but it was decent. I'll give it a 6. Jacob Fatu, LA Knight. And predicted Jacob Fatu would win, and he did. Big up Jacob Fatu, became the new United States champion. I'm going to give that match again another 6 for me. I think it was decent, but again, just something that didn't really stretch as much as I would have liked in terms of the match and in terms of obviously the continuation of telling a story in that match. So I'm going to give that a 6. El Grande Americano, Rey Fenix. Nah. Weren't a fan. It was a good match, to be fair, but listen, the whole Chad Gable underneath the mask thing, I just wasn't a fan of that fact that Rey Fenix lost that match. Obviously, Rey Fenix stepped in for Rey Mysterio, but it was his debut there. He should have won that. It shouldn't have been El Grande Americano. Do you know what I mean? So it was just a little bit disappointing with the end result of that one. But it was a solid match, so I'd give it a 7 out of 10, just about. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? Tiffany Stratton, you know what I mean, came out and retained her title. Was a decent match, to be fair. Good spots, good match overall, not bad. It's good. I'd give it a 7 as well out of 10. just obviously good that Charlotte Flair didn't win. I predicted Charlotte to win, as unfortunately, because I didn't want to see her win, but it was good to see that she didn't win. So, big up to Tiffany Stratton. You know, it's still Tiffy time, so good match, 7. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Paul Heyman, sorry, and Roman Reigns. So triple threat match. Great storytelling here. Great turn of events. Great change. Yeah, man. I would have didn't see it coming. So it was a good twist. Good storytelling as well. So this was probably the one I think that made night 2 a lot better. Do you know what I mean? Overall, I give this one an 8.5 out of 10, this match. So overall, rounding up WrestleMania night 1, it will get just about 6 from me. Just about. Because I'm lying. 5.7. Yeah, a 5.7 for night 1. But night 2, let's get on to that. Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, triple threat. Io Sky retaining, brilliant for her. It was a great women's match, fantastic. This one, for me, I think was just even slightly better than Charlotte's match and Tiffany Stratton. I'm going to give it 8.7 out of 10. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, great match, fantastic. I would have liked it to probably been a bit longer, and in terms of where there was a bit more hardcore going on. But overall, was good what I saw. Would have wanted to be slightly bit more better, but still was a good match. So I'm going to give it an 8. Dominic Mysterio beat Braun Breaker and Finn Balor and Penta. So not long enough for me, but it was a good match. Not long enough, to be honest. Could have been a bit longer. But I'm happy for Dominic Mysterio. You know what I mean? Certifying himself as a legit, main event champion now. So well done to him. For me, this match was decent, but it could have been longer. So I give it a 7. Randy Orton defeated Joe Hendry. Listen, surprise Joe Hendry come out. I obviously thought it'd be Nick Aldis. I got it wrong, but fantastic. Randy Orton, winning at Mania again. So big up to Randy Orton and Joe Hendry. So everybody believes in Joe Hendry, don't they? So it's a good debut for him as well, to debut at Mania. Obviously, to come and succumb to the 3 most dangerous letters in all sports entertainment, RKO. But listen, brilliant moment for Joe Hendry and TNA as well. So, but Randy Orton remains Randy Orton. So yes, cool. I'll give that as a surprise factor 6. Yeah, just fair, just above fair. So Logan Paul, AJ Styles, good match, enjoyable. Just wasn't happy with the winner. So overall, I give it about 7.5. Lara Valkyria, Becky Lynch they defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Not long enough. Again, it's okay, but again, not long enough. So I give it about 6.5, 10. But to be honest, I didn't really want to see Becky Lynch come in and take the spot away from what's her name. She did, and it was wrong of them to do that. Absolutely wrong. Bayley got robbed here. Do you know what I mean? Bayley's my G. Now she's my G. Before she wasn't my G. Before she sucked. But she had the Bayley boys and them not. She sucked. But it is what it is. So I can appreciate Bayley now. Back then, so she sucks. Get her out of my face. Absolutely sucks. But anyways, she got robbed here. Do you know what I mean? Worked her ass off, and then to get no justice out for it, it's taking the piss. So yeah. But Valkyria, great for her. Again, showing her dominance, becoming a double champ. So congratulations to her. John Cena beating Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. The match wasn't, let's say, the greatest of matches. I'm not going to lie there. Very stop-startish, not something that was consistent and quite fluid. The crowd also felt a bit flat as well at times. The crowd in general, night 1 was awful. Do you know what I mean? Night 2, I think they were a bit better. But The crowd overall, night one, they get about a 2 from me, to be honest. The crowds, 2 out of 10. The crowd, they're all poor. Do you know what I mean? Night two, I give him about a 5. Bit better, but still, again, not good enough. But yeah, John Cena beating Cody Rhodes to win his 17th World Championship. Do you know what I mean? Beating Ric Flair, which, let's say, that's not actually confirmed. Ric Flair has won other championships outside of, the vicinity, but they just counted it 16. Ric Flair's won. I think Ric Flair's won about 21, as I think he said. But they're counting it as like 16 Ric Flair's won. But he surpasses Ric Flair and takes the record. So, officially on WWE's whole system. But yeah, he takes the record. So yeah, congratulations to John Cena. This heel John Cena is doing what it needs to be doing, man. It's cooking right now. So yeah. Overall the match, yeah, not great, but because John won, this heel Cena, we wanted to see The Rock and we didn't see him. We just saw Travis Scott instead. 5.5 for it. Yeah, because the title changer, I was happy to see Cody Rhodes finally lose, to be honest. Because for me, Cody, he's not someone you keep as a long-term champion. I'm being real, he's not. He's someone who holds the belt for like 4 months, maybe even 5, 6, and then you make him lose it. I'm being real, because Cody, it starts to get irritating. Cody's not great on the mic, and yeah, it just gets repetitive. So, end it. So, you know what I mean? I'm happy it's over for him. So, cool. Doesn't mean I like Roman Reigns. I'm not a fan of him either. Do you know what I mean? I can appreciate his heel work, but yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, on both notes. But cool. That's all for my thoughts on WrestleMania. But what do you guys think of it? You can put your comments below on that one or keep them to yourself. Cool. We're going to touch on Raw after Mania. So, just a quick recap on that. There were some twists and turns, some madness that happened. If you haven't watched it, I would suggest you stop, pause this, and go and watch it. So I'm giving you a chance now. Okay, spoilers. Raw after Mania. Crazy. You know what I mean? First thing I think happened to happen. Sorry, my words getting twisted. John Cena getting RKO'd by Randy Orton. Crazy. Gunther attacking Pat McAfee and Michael Cole after losing the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso yeeting with his brother and Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria losing the tag team champions 1 day after winning them against Liv and Raquel. And then Becky Lynch turning on Lyra Valkyria and assaulting her after the match. Insane. Didn't see that coming. Do you know what I mean? But they should have never held the championships in the first place. That night, Becky Lynch should have assaulted Lyra Valkyria. I don't understand why they didn't have them not win that championship that night and then have them lose it the night. It just didn't make any sense to me. I just think they wanted added wrong, but let's be honest, it just makes the tag team championships a lot more worthless, to be honest. So, yeah. What else did happen? Dominic Mysterio retained against Penta. We also saw an impromptu match of Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, which was going great until they got jumped by Julia and Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is facing Stephanie Vaquer tomorrow on NXT, which is crazy to see that. And then Mami comes out and, let's say, stops the attacks from continuing. So, insane. And then points says she wants another potential down the line opportunity at Io again. So, hey, it was all madness that happened. We also have got to touch on the final one, which was Seth Rollins and obviously CM Punk running out, coming to blows, nearly trying to assault the wise man, obviously, for his actions the last night. Roman then obviously getting assaulted himself. Seth jumping in from behind, clawing in the eyes, stomping him. And then Roman Reigns coming out. Roman Reigns getting assaulted. Assaulting Seth. and then about to give a spear, and then all of a sudden you just see Braun Breaker come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Spare him. Which I thought, whoa. It shocked me to see that. And that's surprising. You know what I mean? Because I didn't see that coming. But it was good. Very good. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously the assault continues. He spares him into the barricade again, throws him into the ring, and then Seth stomps Reigns, and then it just gets mad from there. So above all, very good Raw after Mania. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That for me was better than night one of WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? So instantly incredible. Did I even rate night 2 of Mania? I don't think I did. I didn't rate night 2, did I? That would easily get about a 7.5 for me, night 2. I give that a 7.5. But yeah, overall, Raw after Mania, brilliant. The story, everything, 8.5. Fantastic. So, just not good enough. I think there was some that was a bit weird, but overall, because of how mad it was, I'll push it up a little bit actually. 8.7. Because it was that mad. But yeah, that's all, guys, on my thoughts of Raw after Mania and WrestleMania. Put your comments below on that one, or keep them to yourself. Cool, with that, we've come to the end of this episode of the podcast. And that's been long and extended. Thank you guys for your time. My head is banging, throbbing, and all of that. So I've just got to end it now. Big up yourselves, first time watchers, season watchers. You know what to do if you're feeling this episode or any of the previous episodes, the podcast, or whatever's going on the Randy Prizzle channel. All of the links below down there. Big up yourselves, guys. Subscribe to man. Tell them how crazy your boy Randy Prizzle is. Thank you, guys. Big up yourselves. You know we usually do it when we finish. Peace, love, unity, have fun, and you're either all in or clear out.